Ladies and gentlemen, people and persons, this is your 30-minute end of pop culture as you know it. I am your co-host, Gnarly Quinn, joined by the main man, Matthias, and we would like to welcome you to your weekly pop culture apocalypse.
Okay.
Alrighty, what you got for me?
Alrighty. I'll let you pick the two. We got to talk about how Avatar: The Last Airbender is the greatest show ever,
Ooh.
or the perfect show. Sorry. Why it's the perfect show, and then the second thing was why how can I say this? Batman Beyond is stupidly underrated. I'll let you pick.
Why? Okay, so the second one was why Superman was wildly underrated, or
I'm
who was
sorry. The second one was Batman Beyond.
it? Ooh.
Yeah. I feel that show is one of DC's most untapped potential. In my book, I think it is. I believe it is.
Honestly, I agree with you, and you are correct. And also, that's why whenever James Gunn came in and he did his recap or his plan for what he wanted to do, that was included in it. And that's why I got really, really, really excited because
Yeah.
one, if you can do that movie or even like a TV show on that front, if you can do that anywhere near the level of what the animated show actually brought to us, that would absolutely run everything, especially in
Yes.
the DCEU.
And I think you know how, screw it. Let's talk about Batman. we see, if you watch the show, which I'm sure you watch the show, right?
Oh yeah.
It's like very futuristic. It's like what, 80, 90 years in the future, you know?
Yeah, I mean
You could make it. Yeah, you could make it so he could be in like modern times.
you
Like,
could.
you know what I mean? Like, I remember them talking about how they wanted Michael Keaton. They wanted him to play an aged Bruce Wayne.
Which he did,
And
technically.
right, he did. And then have him like tutelage, Terry McGinnis, is that his name?
Yes.
Right? Okay. You could do it like, instead of like 2070, whatever the hell it was, you can do it 2024. You can make that work. I believe you can.
Theoretically, yes. I think if they did it that way, the only reason that wouldn't work, especially now, because they're still trying to get Batman to take off a little bit. Take off like it
Yeah.
used to, because they're still competing in terms of on-screen appearances. They're still competing with Marvel, obviously, because they run on screen. So if you're gonna do that, that would kind of be the end of Batman a little bit, unless you do it either in
Yeah.
another universe or you do set it in the future and then you still have all these movies and you go through all the timeline with Batman plus have the Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
But personally,
I
I think if they're going to do that, what they need to do is go through with all of their Batman movies and then like right when you think it's the end, it is the end for Batman, it's like nope, Batman Beyond, and then you take it from there too. Because that would be
right.
one hell of a way.
I agree with that. I feel now if they went like the futuristic route, I feel like Batman Beyond should be like the center. I don't want to say the center point, but if it's going to be that dystopian cyberpunk, I feel the other, like the DCU itself, should be that dystopian cyberpunk,
Really?
especially Gotham City. Yeah, like Metropolis, is always going to be Metropolis.
Gotham
I don't really see them.
has. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. But
No, you go ahead.
Gotham has and always had this very dark, gritty, kind of more akin to what you would find in an actual city almost, where, you know, people go about their everyday lives like nothing ever happens. But, you know, down the street, a drugstore is getting shot up, or, you know, somebody's robbing this place. It's very akin to what you could see in real life, depending on what city you go to.
Yeah.
And they were
I
always
I
very
tell you,
good about depicting like the real life grit that happens in those cities.
yeah,
And Batman was just the guy that went around and tried to
yeah.
spread hope.
You know what? I take that back. I think it would probably work. The feel for it that you got from the cartoon, I think you'd have to have it almost dystopian cyberpunk.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember the one episode, I didn't watch it religiously, but I remember the one episode, where Superman, he was aged, you know, he wanted to recruit Terry McGinnis for the new Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
And Bruce Wayne's all like, pretty much just go to hell, Clark. So, but he does go to, I can't remember where the hell was Justice League headquarters in the Fortress of Solitude? Is that where it was at? Or did they have their own watchtower? I can't remember.
Shit. Well, the Justice League had the space. Like, if you're talking about just in general, Justice League had the space station as their main headquarters.
Well, my point is, like, you see the other League members, and they were completely different, like what we were used to. Like, they didn't have J'onn J'onzz. There wasn't. I think there was a different Green Lantern.
Probably.
I don't think Wonder Woman was in there. Like, it was different characters, like we're not used to.
Well, because it was set so far in the future.
Yeah, like you could have the same characters if you wanted to. It would just have to be like a dystopian. I don't know. I just feel if they went that route, it'd be hard to pull that feel from that cyberpunk dystopian and put it like in modern times. I kind of take back what I said earlier. You almost have to have the whole universe, the DCU, almost revolve around that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Which, I mean, think about it. Technically, it kind of does. I mean, as of right now, even the last Batman, it kind of had that, like with some of the technology and everything, it kind of had that cyberpunk dystopian feel to it, but it wasn't set so far into the future. They did a really good job with that, where you still had all that technology, like kind of like the cyberpunk-esque technology.
Yeah.
But it was still set in modern times, just because Bruce has money and he can afford to pay for that type of research. And
I just feel like, I don't want to say that the Batman movies we're getting is kind of like saturated. And like, you know what I mean? They just kind of like scrub it and then they like trace over what they did before. But I feel a good fresh start with Batman would be a Batman Beyond movie, because everybody wants it. That's a Batman fan. Everybody wants it. I feel like kind of like how Iron Man was. How that's like not very realistic.
mm-hmm.
Compared to like how Batman is and like that new Batman movie where it was more grounded. But people love that movie. That they like the Iron Man, how, he flew around and all that technology and
Well, because
damn well if they made it work right, it could be pretty good.
Yeah, well, because with the Iron Man movies, they did such a good job at portraying that this was just an average person who had so much money, i.e., like Batman. They had so much money that they could afford all this research into this technology, and that's exactly what they did. They made it work, and then that's how they used it for. And even the villains that were going about it, they were getting all their money illegally, so they were just like, yes, let's invent this technology to take down Iron Man, or to just, ruin the world. Let's go. So they did a really good job with things like that. And when you're talking about like on-screen appearances, yeah, you can absolutely do that dystopian future, or even that cyberpunk-esque
Yeah.
future, you could do it. Absolutely. And you can still put it in modern
Mm-hmm.
times. However, I do feel that Batman Beyond would probably do a little bit better as a futuristic environment. Like, even if it
Yeah.
is, like 80, 90 years, just because of the story. Because you have to understand, like, that
Yeah.
was the end of Batman. Batman literally passed the torch on to this kid. And he was like, all right, you can carry on my legacy. You're a good kid. Carry on my legacy. Like, this is what you want to do. You want to help people. Go do that. And he was backing him 100%. He was there to help him whenever
Yeah.
he couldn't, which Batman didn't have anybody to do that. He had Alfred. Alfred was there. So I do take that back. He did have somebody there to kind of steer him in a way, especially when he had problems. But Bruce Wayne is Batman Beyond's Alfred in a way. And I mean, I get that's only
Mm-hmm.
into a certain point, but still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah.
So you need that old Batman character to make it work. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So even if they do
Yeah.
set it in like another universe, that would be cool too. Because imagine doing Flashpoint, but in the Batman Beyond universe. That would be a cool mashup.
Yeah. That would be. That'd be pretty badass, because you could have him like having like some kind of, well, like in the comics or even the cartoon movie or whatever, you could have like Bruce Wayne, trying to, there's an invasion and he needs help, and then he finds out that they've been keeping this alien locked up, and here it's Superman. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you could even have like Hal Jordan, or my favorite, John Stewart. I think John Stewart's the best damn Green Lantern. But you could have that be like a futuristic, like looking Air Force.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That'll fit. And then like with Wonder Woman and Aquaman, that doesn't really affect them because they're kind of in their own little world. Especially Diana, she's like always on Themyscira. I mean, I don't see it affecting it that bad, really.
Well, technically, too, you can have some of the same characters that we know and that we love, because
Right.
think of Diana's aging. They touched on this even in the first movie. She was around for World War II. She was around for World War I or World War II. She was around for that. And, 2020, whenever the movie came out, she still looked the same. She was still there just because of who she is and where she came from. Her aging is a lot. She really doesn't age. So characters like that, and even with Superman, because does Superman age a whole lot? Because I don't think he ages a whole lot. I mean, he does age, but still, characters like that. It depends.
I don't know.
It depends on what you read, which canon, whatever. But still, characters like that, where you can have them reoccurring, and then even with like Green Lantern, because the ring, after the host dies or the host does not accept that they are the Green Lantern anymore, it goes on to a new host. I mean, look at who were the twins at one point? It was Jessica and somebody else. They were twins that took on the Green Lantern role, and they went around.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I know you're talking about. Yeah, that is a good idea. Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah, so you can still have some of your same characters, especially the ones who either don't age or don't continue to grow older like the rest of us. I mean, they still grow old, but at a completely decelerated rate. You could still have those characters, but bring them in either, like the Green Lantern case, bring them in with different people. And that's one point where it would actually make sense, rather than just like making a new character and being like, yeah, we don't know why it's a new character. It's just a new character. Yeah, no, it would make sense that way.
And it'd work perfect for like Cyborg. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, because Cyborg wouldn't age.
Yeah. And then like Martian Manhunter, he, you know what I mean? He's, I don't think he ages at all. If he does, you can't tell.
Nope.
He can't tell. So that'd be pretty cool if they went like that. That'd be different. I don't know if people go for it or not. I would. I sure in the hell would.
Oh, yeah.
But
oops, my bad.
But yeah, back to I feel that is a very untapped potential. I don't say franchise, but like character world is
Yes.
Batman Beyond. Because I don't think it went any further than the show, did it? Like, I don't. Did it have a game or anything?
I don't believe so, actually. Let me look. I want to say a video game.
I just feel that it's very untapped, and it has a lot of potential if they did it right.
Because they did do a movie and then a second movie, I think.
Okay. Oh yeah, that freaking
Oh, they did
Return
a
of the
Batman Beyond
Joker.
Return of the Joker, yeah.
That's the best one. That is one of the best cartoon movies ever. The twist in that is freaking phenomenal. Oh, I love that. I love that movie. Actually, in fact, I kind of like watched some episodes and then I seen that movie, and that movie made me want to watch the show even more. So I kind of tried to find streaming, or this is back then in the day, channels that would actually play Batman Beyond a lot, which probably at that time Cartoon Network, which that right there is showing my age right there. But no, I feel that'd be pretty badass. I do.
Oh, yeah. They did do a Batman Beyond Return of the Joker. They did a video game. It was for PlayStation and Nintendo 64 in 2000 and 2001.
Oh, that's wow.
Yeah. I don't
Okay,
think...
so that's
yeah.
20 years ago. That's really old.
24 years ago.
I think around that time I was pretty into... Oh my god. Now we're going way back in time. I was probably really hardcore into Pokemon around then.
Which
I was about 10 years old.
Yeah, Pokemon's still just as big.
Dude, it's like the most... It's the most successful IP in history. Like, it made more money than you could count.
Yeah.
And I know we're off topic, but the whole Pokemon thing, there's a thing where it says you had to be there. You had to be there to realize the hype of that thing, man. I was in 3rd grade, and it went off like a freaking like a nuclear bomb. It's a boom. The Game Boy, which I played a ton, I still do. The cards, the TV shows, it was just, oh my god.
Dude, even when I was a kid, it was still just as big. People were carrying around Pokemon cards in giant folders. And then Pokemon Go came out, and it still made it just as big. If not bigger.
It's nuts. It's nuts.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I never played Pokemon Go.
I never have either. But I've watched people play it. I watch people play all the time. And then did you see about Palworld?
Yeah. Yeah, I seen about that. I kind of don't like... it's whatever.
Well, it just came out for PlayStation, so I might actually have to get it. I mean, it's not going to be as good, but still, might have to try it out, dude. Just because. Dude, it sounds epic.
You let me know how that is. I'm interested.
Oh, I will.
I don't want to say it looks like a ripoff, but it looks like the Kmart version that actually did good.
It reminds me of a more widely accessible version of... Because what games was it supposed to be? It was like Pokemon, and then there was like 2 other games that it was supposed to be a mashup of.
Oh, probably Fortnite if you could build.
Maybe.
Or Minecraft, whatever the hell the one... I don't like the other... those other... I don't know.
Yeah, it was just like a giant mashup of everything. But I know like Pokemon was one of them. Because everyone, one of the kids that I work with, he was telling me how like there was some glitch or something where you can just like throw Pokeballs at everything. And I was like, wait, what? So yeah, there's a nice mix of everything. But still, Pokemon is still either making an influence or still just as popular.
It's nuts. It's like if the 80s had Star Wars, the 90s had Pokemon. And I don't know what the hell the 2000s kids had. I don't know. Harry Potter? I don't know. I don't know. But it was a phenomenal time.
Even Star Wars
What's that?
Even Star Wars is still just as prevalent as ever. Because you had all the all the movies, all the trilogy movies. And now with like The Mandalorian and Disney Plus with all of their shows.
I love it. I hope that what they should have did was whenever George Lucas sold it or whatever, they should have gave every creative I'd say priority. Oh, what's his name?
Kevin Feige?
No. Is it Dave Filoni? Is that his name? The
Yes.
guy behind Clone Wars?
Yeah, because it was Kevin Feige and Dave Filoni.
They should have gave everything to Dave, because Dave is a freaking master. Oh my God, that guy knows how to do it, man. He's good. He's good.
Yeah. Well, they tried giving, what was it, one movie or something like that to Patty Jenkins, I think. And then she screwed up Wonder Woman 1984 so dang bad that they were like, yeah, no. But I think they did give her a movie, something along those lines, and it bombed so freaking hard. And then, I don't know, did you see The Apostle? Not The Apostle. What's the newest show? The Acolyte, thank you. Did you see any of The Acolyte yet? Honest to God, don't even bother. Don't even bother.
That bad?
Yeah, so we watched the first episode, and here's the thing. I didn't grow up with Star Wars. I didn't read the books. I just grew up with watching things because of my man. So he was, we're going through things, and I'm hearing lore from him because I'm asking questions. So he was just my book of knowledge on that front. And I went into this show, and there were so many little things. Here's what they did. They watered everything down so even the newest of viewers could come in and watch it and enjoy it. And here's the thing. Whenever you're doing something like that, you're making this for an audience that already knows a lot about the universe and a lot about the lore. So I'm even watching something like this happen, and I'm going, wait, none of this would happen, none of this makes sense. Or like, why did they do that whenever you could just do this? Like, it's Star Wars, dude. This is the basic principles of Star Wars that even I know. So what's going on here? And yeah, no, it was just kind of terrible. We watched the first episode, and I think the second episode that came out, and it wasn't any better. Haven't even sit down to watch the rest of them. Doesn't begin to appeal to me or anything. Yeah, I would not waste your time on that.
The last good show I watched, I really liked Ahsoka. I did.
Oh, Ahsoka was good. Ahsoka was really good.
I loved, well, I think a lot of it because it was kind of, it was a sequel to Rebels, I guess, but I mean, that's why I loved it so much, because all the characters came back.
Oh, yeah. It was really good about taking the movies that you already watched and moving forward with them.
Yes, I agree.
And, well, whenever you see a TV show that's supposed to be like that, you need to have that.
And I liked Obi-Wan. That was pretty good. But my favorite part about that show was Vader. They brought back the Vader, man. That was just a freaking menace. Oh, I love that so much.
Was the Vader that we all should have gotten to begin with. The angry, the upset, the absolute rage-driven Vader that he was and is. That's the Vader.
Did you ever, I know we're way off subject from Batman Beyond. I know that, but I gotta end with this. Did you ever read the comic? It might have been a what if, like not a canon comic book, but it was it was Vader versus Darth Maul. All right.
Ooh.
And I kind of skimmed through it, and Maul's nothing to laugh at. I mean, he's a disgusting son of a to fight, but so is Vader. So it was almost like one of those unstoppable force meets immovable object. So as much as I hate to say this, Maul was actually getting the upper hand because Vader was just this. He doesn't have the speed or agility Maul did. Maul was going around him, but then he got the upper hand. Maul did, and then round 2 started, and Vader didn't hold back, and then he got the upper hand, and then it was back and forth. I had to send the link. It was pretty sick. So what happened was, Maul had him in this grip, like from behind, and I think he was trying to kill him, and he goes like, your hatred is nothing. This is why you lost. Blah blah blah. And then Vader takes his lightsaber, stabs himself through the arm or something, and then it stabs Maul, or it stabs some kind of unimportant organ. I don't know how to say that without it making sense. It gets Maul, and then Maul goes. He's like, holy shit! Like, how do you have this much hate? Like, who do you hate that much that you have all this hate dwelled up inside of you? And Vader goes, myself. I'm like, wow.
Oh, yeah.
That's deep. I mean, I see why he doesn't mess. When this is what happens when you fuck around, you find out.
Dude, for real. Also, if you think of it too, that makes the scene in Obi-Wan a little bit more deep too, because whenever Obi was like asking about Anakin, or whenever Darth Vader looks up and he says, "You didn't kill Anakin, I did." Like, that just makes it so much deeper.
Yep.
Even if it was just a what if. Like, it just, all of it is just so deep. And
I gotta wrap this up, Quinn.
Yeah.
I'll get a hold of you here later this week.
Absolutely, Matthias.
Hopefully we'll talk about Avatar. And hopefully stay on subject.
Yes. Hey, that's the thing about Apocalypse. You never know what you're gonna get. But take care, buddy.
That's true. See ya.
Unfortunately, that is all the time that we have for this week. Thank you for listening, and be sure to tune in for next week's episode of Apocalypse.